Cameras, you guys good?
Yep.
Alrighty. Nico, why don't you do this off?
Jesus, just wanted to get your take on the last game. Obviously, a difficult or a disappointing result. What were your thoughts on your overall game and what you guys faced in San Diego?
Yeah, obviously it's not nothing that we wanted. Obviously, we wanted to come out of there with something. That wasn't the case. I think the game was very tough for us. We had to, I think mentally prepare ourselves for a tough game. And just with pieces out, I think we have to step up as a team. I think that we can't just depend, on Jordan to score goals or Pedro to be the key playmakers, maybe on 1v1 duels. So I think the guys are realizing that we're going to need everybody for each game, and I think everybody's stepping up. Obviously, we know that this isn't the start of the season that we would like or we would want, but I think it's part of the process. I think we're learning about each other, and I think it's going to come with time. But we're realizing that the time is now. That we have to switch and flip the switch at some point, but it has to be soon.
In your opinion, what do you feel like it's been the issue to fitting your style of play to what maybe the team sees out of their striker, out of their nine, and that's the reason why there's been some, creativeness into maybe interchanging certain players and playing you a little bit deeper. What do you feel like it's been the issue?
No, I mean, I think that I came here as a versatile player, being able to play as a 9 and as a 10. I think Coach was very clear that my positioning wasn't just a 9 or wasn't just a 10, and so he's seen that maybe I'm not connecting with maybe Albert or Christian or Obed for the final pass. But if we watch the games back, there's runs. It's just mainly the connection that we have to build, and that's normal. We're only 5 games into a season, and obviously my style of play is much different. I think in Dallas I had a little bit of freedom to get the ball, to go around, to roam around. Here we have players that can do that in every position. We have talented players in every position that can do that. So my job is kind of mentally and physically kind of being in that position and waiting for my turn, because here we have players that can do that the same or better as me. And so for me, again, it's last few games I've been playing as a right pocket, so not as a number 9. And so a lot of people think that I'm playing as a 9 even when I'm in the wing, which I'm not. The plan for San Diego was, hey, let's have Georgie up top, let me turn and feed him some balls, because we all know that he's a runner. He's much faster than a lot of defenders in the league, and once he gets a head start, he's through to goal. And so and what we were doing was interchanging positions and maybe just seeing what he can do out wing and inside. And so, just to be clear, like, my position isn't just a 9 or just a 10. I think that, for example, for this case, like when Albert is hurt or when someone that I can play in those positions, anybody, we have a lot of players that can play in different positions, but it's just a matter of connecting and getting in the same page, because it's not easy whenever I'm used to maybe just having that free role, and here we have players that have that, so I don't really need to be that free role guy that can run around or make plays. I can just be that guy that can run in behind. But I think a lot of guys, sometimes I joke around that it's like I don't think they're realizing that I'm pretty quick, so they kind of hesitate on sending balls in behind. And I think if we watch games back, I think Houston, we had a couple of runs in behind. The game before that, I think the first game against Charlotte, there was a couple runs in behind. So I think it's just them getting used to me running in behind and knowing that I can run in behind.
How do you feel about the critique, though, of yourself, of expectations of you being a number 9 or putting goals in, and that not happening so far?
I don't really care. When I was with Dallas, Nico, I think Nico was a really big part of this. Was my 2022 season. If you go back, my first 6-7 games, I had 0 goals, and then I scored 18 that year. So I'm not worried at all. The people that I have to care about, or their opinion, is the coaching staff and my family. The coaching staff have my back, the players have my back, and that's all that matters. That's all I care. They can say whatever they want. If I'm scoring goals, they won't say nothing. If I'm assisting, they won't say nothing. So it's just a matter of the people who have my back and trust me and know my abilities, which is here, the staff, the players, my family, and that's kind of all that matters. I think that goals and assists will come. it's my first time out of Dallas, my first time in a new team, my first time in a new environment, my first time playing with different people that kind of maybe not know what I'm able to do or how I think or maybe how I run. And I think that it would just come with time.
You this is also your first time going back to Dallas. Paul, before he got injured, had this game circled and really wanted to prove something there. I mean, it was from his description, it was difficult there that last year for the both of y'all. That's what he had said. How do you feel about going back now?
Yeah, it's a little tough because it doesn't seem real yet. I feel like once I'm in the flight and touchdown in Dallas, it'll be a little bit more real. But for me, I've always said I've always have love for Dallas. But at this moment in time, we're gonna try and do everything in our power to come out with the 3 points. We're gonna try to go out there and dominate. Because I think that's what we need right now in our season to kind of flip it. I think if we can get one good win with the domination that we know that we can do whenever we play our style, whenever we play the way that we can play, and everybody's at their rating 10, like I say it, we can dominate teams.
Of course, that's from the team side. For you personally, will there be a little extra oomph facing them?
Yeah, of course. For me, first I want to score goals. So let me just be clear there. It's not like I don't want to or want to assist. So that's my number one thought. Like I always tell, but he's my roommate. I'm like, today's the day that I'm gonna score. I'm gonna have a chance. That's always in my mind. And so as a team, as a collective, we want to go out there and dominate and come back with the 2 points. I think that it'll be huge for us. That we know that Dallas is up there in the table and they're playing good games and they're getting results, which is important. So us coming out there and getting a result, it will be huge for us.
You mentioned that you've had somewhat slow starts before. What do you do mentally though to keep yourself sharp and to not sort of get down on yourself and not kind of feel like?
I think it's the people that you have around. I think that's the most important thing. I think I've talked to Freddie, Andy, our coach, and I sit down and I'll watch video and I see that there is runs there. I think that the most important thing that I've gone from the videos with them is that I'm in the right position. I'm doing the runs, and maybe it's like the connection between my teammates and I, who maybe are not the sharpest or maybe they're not on point that game. But for me, I want to notice that if they're there. I think that's the most important thing, is just making sure that the runs are there to then be able to work off that. Because if the runs weren't there, then I think that's the problem. I think that's when you start asking, okay, why isn't Jesus running, or why isn't he making those runs when he needs to run? But if they're there, then it's a matter of, okay, let's keep working on making sure that he sees me or I see him whenever he picks up the ball, or he times that run or I time that run, and I think that's the most important thing, is that making sure that they're there, and we have to sharpen that up.
On a totally different subject, I know when you first got here, you were told the weather could be kind of brutal. On a day like this, is a good reminder of what Seattle can show out.
A lot of people are telling me that this is what summer is. It's not
Should I take a picture of your pecs?
I like it, but I like the rain, honestly, so I miss it a little bit.
What have your early impressions been of Ryan Kent in the first few days?
I like him. He's going to bring a lot of verticality and 1v1 abilities, and so we're gonna see how he does. Hopefully, I think I heard that he's doing his paperwork soon, so hopefully he can be on the squad with us. But so far he's a guy that is motivated, the guy who's gonna push everyone else, and a great 1v1. And so I think it's gonna give us another look on another attack and help us out.
How many
Last couple
people
plays, guys.
what do you feel as far as the family crowd that's going to be there for you? Like, how many tickets have you been asked for?
My family still lives out there, so it's going to be quite a bit. So it's going to be all my mom's side, and so I'm excited to be able to not just play, but to see my family. I haven't seen them since I moved out here, and so it'll be nice to have some family, some of my mom's food, and
Will you be able to get to the farm? Or? Hopefully,
that's the plan. I got to ask for permission.
Jesus, just to clarify, I mean, you clearly do gravitate into those half spaces at times, and you do have that versatility. But I kind of heard you say that you are making those runs. You do have the speed. If you were to be played as a 9, kind of like trying to get behind those defenders, you feel confident that you could do that role, or would you rather play the way you've been playing recently?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's whatever the team needs at the moment. I think I feel confident enough to play as a 9. I think it's a matter of being able to see those runs. I think besides me making those runs, I think a lot of the other guys are open, and so it's just a matter of connecting all the dots together. You know, I'm not the biggest. I'm not Jordan. Who, whenever we play with Jordan, he's a target 9 who can hold the ball and help us a lot in the presence. I'm not that big of a presence. I'm more of a come inside and touch and then running behind. And so I think it's just adapting to those two sides. I think whenever we play with Jordan or it's just acknowledging that and kind of noticing that, okay, maybe we have to switch the style of play to play through him instead of in behind, or maybe we play in behind and have, you know, pocket guys. I think we have a lot of guys in the midfield who are really good with their feet, and so I think me, Obed, Christian, we can all play Albert, Alex when he comes inside, and so having that strong-footed kind of, because I mean sometimes we have a lot of like runners, and maybe we play a lot in behind and we have to run, and that's part of the game, but sometimes we can keep the ball, and so it's just a matter of adapting the game to who's up top, because I think it changes a lot between Jordan and I, and so and Moose, and so we all have kind of 3 different profiles that changes the way that maybe we attack, or maybe we defend, or maybe we just build out. And so,
do you feel that the way that the preseason went, that it, what you're describing, kind of came together a little bit more easier in preseason, and you just kind of need to carry that forward, or you know, you've seen it work?
I mean, I think it's hard to say, because in preseason you played 30 minutes first game, 45 second game, and then you played maybe max 80. And it's with a lot of different people, and so I think that now that we have Saturday to Saturday games, I think this is when the coaching staff and the players are going to kind of tone down and kind of work on that relationship. I think that it doesn't come game by game. You know, I think that we have a lot of moments. We have small moments where you can kind of tell the game that we can play, where we are all connected, where we are all running, where we're all defending, where we're all attacking. But it has to be more moments. I think I've always said that soccer is about moments, and we have to make sure that we have more moments than them this Saturday. And so more moments of where we are all connected and playing as a unit, because when we're playing as a unit, I think that's where we're the strongest.